Paul Ryan there. Well, for more on that and the threat Russia still poses, I'm joined now by former CIA officer Lindsay Moran. So, Lindsay Moran, we have there the Speaker of the House suggesting the President is just trolling these former intelligence chiefs by threatening to take away their security clearance. What's your reading of it?
Well, that in and of itself is so alarming. I feel like what we have here is constant kabuki theater for middle schoolers or something. I mean, the act of trying to revoke the security clearances is so petty and so personal on the part of Trump, and really has no bearing whatsoever. Most of these people are retired. Your security clearance is directly linked to your ability to handle and safeguard classified information. It's not something that should have anything to do with whether or not you criticize the president.
But that's what's annoyed the president, and it's their criticism over Russia that has really riled him. So as a former CIA officer, how great do you see the threat being from Russia right now?
The threat is huge. Russia is capitalizing on a situation of us having an administration that is clearly unschooled in how basic intelligence works. And Russia is taking a multi-pronged approach, as it always has. Through decades, it's taken a multi-pronged approach to attacking us in a number of ways. The difference now is that they've been very successful. The difference now is that we have people who are easily falling prey to honeypots. We have an incredible cyber threat. And we have a president who, because those efforts on the part of Russia resulted in him being elected, is unwilling to acknowledge it.
Well, let's just talk about the latest threat, because Russian hackers are reported to have broken into the control room of US electrical utilities. That's our critical infrastructure, isn't it?
That's really alarming. It's not surprising, but again, it's really alarming. As I said, Russia will always take a multi-pronged approach. So they're going to go after us in a number of ways. They're going to go after political operatives. They're going to go after our infrastructure. They're going to go after our economy. They're going to go after our social media, which is incredibly powerful in the United States. And they're not going to stop.
What do you think Vladimir Putin is making there in Moscow of the aftermath of his summit with President Trump?
I think Vladimir Putin has been doing a happy dance for months at this point. I think in his head, he is riding topless on his horse through the hills, because he really has succeeded in a way that probably even defies his imagination or his ambitions.
Do you expect that Russia will use different tactics to try and target the upcoming midterm elections, given there's so much focus on social media?
I think Russia is playing as the long game. They're playing chess. They have a strategy, and that is a long-term strategy. I don't necessarily think that they will entirely change up their strategy, but I think for sure they will be using other tactics.
Lindsay Moran, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.